point of that rant is that that sports performance, they're trying to figure it out. Like they're trying to come up with this answer when the Supercat was invented fucking 20 years ago. The answer's already there. And this brings me to my piano analogy, right?
Yeah.
So the piano was developed by this musician from Italy in 1700. Like the year 1700, he invented this thing, right? The piano. And for 50 goddamn years, no one was using it. No one was working with it. No one was playing it. No professional composers were applying music theory to it. It was just collecting dust. It wasn't doing nothing. No one in society was embracing it. And the guy died in like 1730, the inventor of the piano. And so another 20 years came by is when really high-level music composers started to really looking into this new form of instrument, this piano. They started modifying it. They expanded upon the keys, and then all of a sudden they realized, holy shit, this totally changes all of music theory forever. And it became the centerpiece to all classical music for like 300 goddamn years. Like Beethoven, Mozart, like it changed the way we understood emotional expression and music forever. Without the piano, we never would have had the guitar. We never would have had the complexity of drumming. Because the piano is able to do harmony, rhythm, tempo, beat, all in one. Because you have all these different fingers working for you. But the society wasn't ready for it. It was too far ahead of its time, and it did nothing. I believe the Supercat is the exact same scenario. Where you see a lot of people who think it's cool, or honestly, there are actually some sports scientists that I used to talk to on Instagram. I'd be like, hey, check this out. Like, what do you think of this? They're like, doesn't really look like much. And I'm like, what? Doesn't look like much? Like, I couldn't accept it. And then as I've grown wiser and I've gotten a little older and I kind of understand how people work, is that one, some people just can't see it because it happens so fast they don't know what they're looking for. And number two, it could be so far ahead of their capacity of understanding that they're not ready to absorb it. It's too different. It's too far from the traditional. It hits the edge of chaos and order too much for them. And this is an ongoing struggle throughout the human race. Like, have you ever seen the show Mindhunter?
Actually, I did.
On Netflix? Yeah. Fucking great show. Such a good show. Now, Mindhunter is about it's a fictional storytelling show based on like factual events, where the FBI was starting to use psychology and behavioral analysis to try to figure out why people are killing in a sequence. And they called them sequence killers. Eventually, that evolved into serial killers. And when some of these FBI agents were trying to present these ideas and they're trying to teach other cops, all these other police officers like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, you're trying to tell me that we're going to use psychology to figure out the criminal mind? Like, sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Right? And now it literally is this, it's the foundation for all criminal psychology, for evidential research, CSI. Now it's a whole cultural phenomenon, to help us reduce, homicides. On collecting evidence, on forensic analysis, data sampling, behavioral psychology, like all these. But the point is when they were first talking about it, law enforcement, the FBI, all the bureaucracies and structures thought it was a bunch of bullshit, and they wouldn't listen for years. Yeah, are you seeing the pattern?
Yeah. Going back to your piano analogy, and I like that a lot. I'm pretty sure the full name of piano is pianoforte, which means soft, loud, and before the piano there was the harpsichord, which visually looks pretty similar. You've got all the keys and they all represent notes the same way the piano does. But what the piano does differently is that if you press a key softly, it's a soft note.
Yes.
If you press it hard, it's a loud note. And so that kind of gets to what you're saying. Like,
yes.
Like once musicians found that, then they realized, oh, we've got this whole different access to kind of express emotion,
Yes.
And that, so just you've already kind of mentioned it, but just to clarify, what is that axis with the Supercat specifically that's missing on the barbell?
Manual pressure loading. Like manual pressure loading, like fuck every machine ever. Manual pressure loading is the ultimate. Because like say for example, because it's the most precise.